We're now standing in a grass waterway. It's a best management practice we installed a few years ago to remedy a gully erosion problem we had in this field. So we had an area of concentrated flow from the Ag Service Center up the top, the parking lot. It congregated near there at the corner of the parking lot, and then came down through the field, causing erosion. So we installed what's called a grassed waterway to safely convey the water downslope. That's its sole mission, is to move the water downslope without causing gully erosion. So our technical staff, our technicians designed this waterway and helped install it by being here and checking grades during installation. So we've planted it in tall fescue. It needs to be overseeded now. It's still a fair stand, but we need to overseed it with some tall fescue to thicken it up a little bit. So far it's holding very well.
We were faced with the same dilemma that any new farmer would be faced with. We had the technical personnel on site, but that's exactly what we would do with anybody else. Just go out here and assess it and give them the best management practice that's applicable. And we were fortunate to be able to get this done within. It was soon after we moved.
About 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
So the first step is to call the district and ask for a conservation planner to come out and visit their farm. So we can assess the farm and look at different resource concerns that may be on site. And we can also better understand the goals of the farmer. So you have to try to mesh the two together when you're doing conservation planning. So in this case, we walked the farm. We realized that the prior owner had put in the forested buffers you see around the property, so that we had already had buffers installed. And the really only problem we saw here was there were three. There wasn't a crop rotation that was very effective. There wasn't cover crop being planted, and there was a gully in this field. So we've moved to remedy all those situations through the conservation planning process, and particularly with the grass waterway through our technical and engineering staff.
And our approach, of course, when we are dealing with a farmer, our goal is to have them hopefully take part in have a soil conservation water quality plan developed for them, and that's what our staff will do. And one of the things that we want to stress to them is that it's a totally voluntary document that we would like for them to have developed for their property. So.
It's all voluntary conservation since the beginning. Mm-hmm. Back in the 1930s and 40s when they created soil conservation districts. Since that time, it's always been a voluntary.
How much do practices like these typically cost to install?
When you start to talk about structural practices, there's a lot of variation in costs across the state. And with the inflation that we have now, they're rather expensive. The practices can be rather expensive to install. But a general grass waterway, this would be, I would say, a kind of a typical grass waterway you would find on a farm. This practice probably cost us around $12,000 to $13,000. That's all. That was 3 or 4 years ago. The price is up a little bit now. Prices are up probably 20-30% over that.